I talk about the bluegill sunfish in my book. Monsanto had commissioned these people to do a study on glyphosate. They were looking to see if it accumulates in the tissues. And so they gave these these sunfish radio-labeled glyphosate so they could trace the radio label. And then they looked at tissues, and there it was. The radio label was in the tissue. Say, okay, it did get into the tissues, number one. So then they said, well, let's just test for glyphosate using the normal methods that they have. Only 20% of the radio label could be accounted for as glyphosate. 80% went missing. So then they said, well, what happened to the glyphosate? Maybe it turned into something else. I don't know. Well, let's just see if we break the proteins down into individual amino acids and try again. And they did that, and the yield went up to 80%. So in other words, at least 60% of the missing was actually hooked into the proteins in some way. And they said perhaps it was incorporated into the protein, which is exactly what I'm saying, incorporated into the protein. And this was in the 1980s.